What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this, guys. Once again, Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. What is going on, guys? Listen, I'm excited to bring y'all today's topic. Hey, I'm just going to mention a few of you guys that are in the community because I don't want to take credit for this kid. Okay, I'm going to review what I see on film. But no, this kid wasn't on my radar until Lawrence Talley came to me and said, Steve, this was 2 months ago, guys. He said, Steve, what do you think about Antonio Gibson? And I'll be honest with you, my response back to him was, is he related to the former Cowboy safety? I didn't know who he was. I didn't know this kid. And I started looking into him a little bit after he said that, and I was a little concerned because he was kind of a positionless player. But then, other guys came around, Cashface, Scott Young, they've been on him and like, hey, what do you think, Steve? What do you guys think about him? So I started looking into him. I got to tell you guys, you converted me. You converted me. I am a believer in Antonio Gibson. This is a kid. I think the Eagles, not only should they add him, I think you got to add him. Because I'm telling you right now, you put this kid in the right system with the right coaching, with the right creative play callers, this kid's going to be lightning in a bottle. He is going to be a nightmare to line up against. All right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into today's topic. We're talking about Antonio Gibson, calling whatever position you want to call him, Memphis University. All right, y'all, let's get to it.
To the one, Gibson. As a crease, and Gibson.
All right, guys, so let's talk about positional alignment for Antonio Gibson. Listen, I want to borrow a comment Philly Fresh said yesterday in one of my videos when he was commenting. He said that, when you looked at the film of Ayuk, he reminded him of being like kind of a utility knife, right? Like a Swiss Army knife or, a Gerber. That's what Antonio Gibson reminds me of. So I'm going to steal something from Philly Fresh here, guys. That's what he reminds me of because I don't know what you call this kid, man. Is he a running back? Is he a slot receiver? Is he a tight end? Is he an H-back? If you're going to ask me what I think his most natural position is, I would say play him as an H-back tight to the formation. That's where I think this kid naturally is. But this kid is, I'm telling you guys, man, he's phenomenal. When you just look at this guy, I could tell you go look for number 14 on the film, but you'd just be wasting your time. Look for the dude whose quad and hamstring muscles are so damn big it looks like he's got tree trunks out there, guys. That's how you find Antonio Gibson. It's pretty obvious on film who he is. If I had to say without getting into too much depth about this young man, what I think he is, look, guys, I'll make it simple for you. If you want to give an NFL comparison, I think he's a slightly more athletic version of former NC State guy, Jalen Samuels, who now plays with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is a 6'1", 220-some pound guy running a 4.39 coming downhill at Ubers. That's what this kid is. He's a better version of that. And that's coming from an NC State fan and a guy who really likes Jalen Samuels a lot. This kid is more dynamic than him. And this kid has a lot of use, guys. You can use him in the backfield. You can use him as a receiver. You can use him as a tight end. He's a kick returner. Like, this kid is definitely a guy that makes your offense crazy good. Now, looking at the film, the reason I say he's an H-back, guys, has to do with the way that they're lining him up, okay? So, he lines up in multiple formations, don't get me wrong. But his most commonly utilized formation is tight to the formation on the boundary side of the field. So he ain't playing the field side in the slot, guys. He's playing more so the boundary side, tight to the formation, which is more of what you would see like an H-back. I could definitely envision this kid playing in the wing, kind of like we use Goddard, right? I'm just going to tell you where my mind goes when I think of this kid in these types of formation, guys. Think of having Trey Burton back, a little bit of Dallas Goddard, mixed in with some of the things that we got last year, physicality of Jordan Howard.
Gibson takes the handoff, spins free, makes a man miss, look out.
That's what this kid is to me. Like, he's that kind of football player, guys. This kid is as diverse as they come, guys. I'm I'm going to tell you right now, some of the ways I envision using this kid is being creative. You need to have an offensive play caller. You need to have a coaching staff that can use this kid in creative ways. And some of the ways I could see this kid in is imagine this kid on the football field with Dallas Goedert, okay, with Zach Ertz, and you got Antonio Gibson on the field.
SMU doesn't blitz. They only rush 3. 8-man coverage, and they can't.
Dude, that would be nuts. Imagine this kid in the backfield with Miles Sanders. And at the same time, you got a guy like Boston Scott split out wide.
Gibson, the receiver, as well as Gainwell on the backfield, and they hand it off to the.
So you don't know whether or not Antonio Gibson's going to get the ball for a short yardage carry, whether he's going to be used as a lead block for Miles Sanders, or if you got to worry about Boston Scott hitting you with some jet sweep motion. Like, this kid is phenomenal, guys. I'm telling you. I like him a lot. I'll give you a further example. Imagine this kid with the speed of a guy like a KJ Hamler, a Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Reagor, right? Teams are going to try to get physical with these guys at the line of scrimmage. Well, not if you stack them with Antonio Gibson leading the way, you're not.
It brings some pressure, but White gets the ball out quickly, and it's a first.
Good luck trying to chase these kids coming out of that formation because, man, this kid, guys, there's just so many ways of using this kid. This kid, to me, is that Swiss Army knife. He is that Gerber. Go get this kid and play him. Like, I'm sorry, if I'm the Eagles in the 3rd or the 4th round, because mind you, our 3rd round pick is really an early 4th round pick. It's 103rd overall. I look at a kid like this because, man, this kid, I'm telling you, he can add a lot to your football team, guys. He would be a nightmare to match up with if you're a defensive coordinator.
Play action and first down. Pump fake. White's going to take a shot downfield. It's Gibson.
Do I think Antonio Gibson is a great route runner? No, I mean, come on. He's not a great route runner because he's played so many, versatile roles. But that doesn't mean that the kid can't develop into it. And I don't think it's his route running, guys, that sells me on the prospect of adding this kid to the Philadelphia Eagles, okay?
To give him a chance to do this right here. That's where the ball is thrown. See how the corner anticipated that throw?
I would even go to far as saying that he can demonstrate, a really large catch radius, but he's not always consistent with that catch radius, okay?
Huge play.
SMU, one-on-one coverage.
White for the end zone.
But he's a gadget-type player that can do more than just be a gadget. He can add to your special teams as a
Grease and Gibson. Can he meet the kicker? Yes, he can.
The kick returner, right? He's a guy that can be a matchup nightmare because you start playing chess with your opponent here. That your opposing defensive coordinator, you're playing chess with a guy like this, right? He's a guy who frees up other players to be able to do what their strength is in the game. That's what I like about this young man. The fact that he could be a lead blocker clearing the way for a Miles Sanders. A guy that makes you forget that Miles Sanders or Boston Scott might be on the field because you're worrying about this, 6 foot, 220-some-pound guy with 4.3 speed breaking, past your defense. Like, I love what this kid adds. Give this kid to Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz, and I would love to see what they could do with such a talent. Look, you look at something like his hands, and he's made a couple of spectacular plays, and he's missed a couple plays where the ball was just a little underthrown or overthrown. He just couldn't quite get around on it. Difficult plays for any receiver in the league to make. He's not that kind of exceptional talent, guys. He's a person that you use in conjunction with other players to make an impact. And I got to tell you, man, he's a guy that you're going to have a little bit of a feeling in your stomach if you don't know exactly how to use them or exactly how to play them. But, man, if you get it right, you're going to really get it right with this kid, guys. He's phenomenal, man. I'm telling you. This kid scores in multiple ways. Running the ball, catching the ball, on special teams. Like, he's going to bring so much versatility to your football team. Is this a kid that I would consider to just be a pure wide receiver? No. He's still a playmaker, guys.
Now White pitching it again to Gibson. Got a block, makes a man miss, off and run.
And if you, I'm just saying, guys, if you use this kid alongside of other guys, like say the Eagles got there and they get a Jefferson, right? And then later on, they turn around and they get a true X receiver, right? They go get a T. Higgins, or they get a Denzel Mims if they're able to finagle some stuff here. I don't know. It seems unlikely to me, but you get a T. Higgins, right? You go get a Gandon Goldie, right? You go get any other, Chase Claypool, another true X receiver, and you got Justin Jefferson. Then you go later and you go get yourself an Antonio Gibson to pair with these guys playing outside, okay? To pair with, say you get a Jalen Rager, you get a Brandon Ayuk, you go get a KJ Hamler to pair with him. Now you got to add in Ertz and Goddard and Sanders. You guys get what I'm saying here? Then you add in Boston Scott. Mix and pair this kind of combination for Carson Wentz, and I think we immediately become a very explosive offense. I would love to see this kid, guys. I'm a huge, huge supporter of this kid. I think this kid's going to be something special in the league. Sometimes it's hard to say other than to say that it's a gut feeling, guys. It's just a gut feeling. But my gut feeling says if this kid ends up with the right creative play caller, he's going to be dangerous in the league, guys. All right, y'all. That's what I think of him. I want to know what you guys think of him. Let me know your opinion on this guy. All right, y'all. You know what time it is. EAGLES. Hey, guys, listen. Don't hesitate to leave names down in the comments. Let me know some players you want me to take a look at. I've got a lot of players on the list, guys. I'll try to make as many videos and cover as many guys as I can until the draft. Remind you guys, I do have to leave some time to do a mock draft 2.0 because that's been requested. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in, guys. Peace.